Baltimore is more than crabs in the wire, and I'm here to share the real stories of the real, true talented people in the city who don't get the recognition that they deserve. Please sit back, relax, subscribe, and watch how we make the whole world want to be more like us.
Where my dogs at? For what? Where my dogs at? Nah, but seriously, rest in peace to ex Earl Simmons. Really respect and appreciate what you did for me, brother, in the 90s, all the way up until your unfortunate when God called you home not too long ago. And definitely know what you did in Baltimore and around the world is definitely respected, all right? But we can say that because we're talking about everything Baltimore here at Be More Like Us 410 TV. It's your boy CEO Be Easy, and I'm here at Velocity Center for Dance with the boss of all bosses, a female boss, Miss Tiff.
What's up, Eric? How you doing?
What it do? I'm good, my fellow Aquarian sister. We got a day apart, so we connected on high levels. We've been friends for a long time, but we're gonna get into that. Y'all stay tuned. Hold it right there. So, I'm from Baltimore, but that don't mean you from Baltimore. I think you're from Baltimore, but the world don't know you from Baltimore. So where you from, and who are you?
I'm from Baltimore. So, I'm Tiffany Nicole Burton Gordon. I am from Baltimore. I attended the Baltimore School for the Arts. I went there. Actually, I was a TWIG, which is like an after-school program to work in gaining skills, is what that acronym stands for. But I was actually with the TWIGS program from 3rd through 8th grade and went right into the high school, 9th through 12th. So I was a dance major middle school through high school, and then I went to New World School for the Arts in Miami as a dance major as well. So I did not wake up one morning and just say, hey, let me teach the kids. I actually put the time in to actually be able to educate. So I am an educated dance educator.
Big boss talk. Credentials to match. A wise man or woman knows that they don't know everything. A lot of times people associate success with what they see, especially in the fast-paced microwave generation of social media and Ks and followers and things like that. But most people don't want to talk about what happened when it was one follower or no followers. So can you think of a time in your personal space or your business or a combined situation where you felt like, I really don't want to do this, or I don't even know what I'm doing with my life, and how did you overcome it?
So I was married. I'm now divorced. And part of our separation or divorce episode was because I wanted to open my own dance studio. Part of that came from me I think I had lost myself within the marriage, so I had nothing to define me. Because I've been dancing for so long, that is my first love, never a man. So I had to be able to dedicate that time to myself for my own sanity, and I don't think that he was able to truly understand what that really meant, if that makes sense. So I had to really, what's the word I'm trying to say? I guess I really had to create the superhero and save myself. So I didn't know if one person was going to come. I didn't know who was going to follow, but I definitely had to make sure that I took that step on faith and just say, I can do this. That was the hardest time in my life, was to try to have a baby, get a divorce, try to figure out what's next. That was very, very hard for me. But in the end, it all paid off. I got myself together. I packed up my baby. I moved out of that house. I worked for multiple studios for a year. I hustled so hard that I no longer have to introduce myself. And that is where VCD came from. So now, by the grace of God, I have my own space and I can create my own program and do things my way and not really have to, conform or, be confined and kind of do things my way.
So we're in the Center for Dance. We dancing on the microphone. We dancing in your camera. We dancing on your TV right now. But we wasn't always in the center. So where you start dancing at?
My living room.
Hey, shout out to the living room. I was the basement.
I started Velocity Center for Dance, honestly, in my girlfriend's living room. I did private lessons for her daughter. Shout out Cam.
Okay.
And Danielle, she was the first one that was like, you can do this. You don't have to work for anybody else. I want you to get my daughter ready for high school. And I was like, well, I work for these studios. She can just come there. And she was like, no, it's time. Like, you need to do this on your own. And I think that is when everything was like, okay, Lord, you sending me these signs, but I kept dodging them. I was like, nope, not yet, not yet. But the Lord definitely will make you very uncomfortable so you can make yourself comfortable. And until you actually give in to the sign, nothing will happen. So everything that I was trying to do to fight, I was getting railroaded. Doors were closing, and I was like, okay. And my friend Danielle was like, so listen, I'm gonna post on Facebook that you got your own studio. How? We don't have no studio. And she was like, no, I'm gonna do it. And from there, everybody just started calling, and then people were asking me to do weddings, and then people were asking me to do this, and I was just like overwhelmed. And then the House of Sloan happened, and then I was teaching adult classes, and next thing I know, I got a following. So I took a small studio. I rented space in Catonsville. I had 40 whole students. And I was like, oh my God, I only got 40 kids. And my friends were like, that's a lot of kids. And I was coming from a studio that had 350.
Got you.
So for me, I was like, 40 kids? What do I do with this? But 40 kids turned into 90 kids. 90 kids turned into 107. Then COVID. But we're going to be okay because now we're coming back. But the numbers roll because you definitely have to put your all into these kids because definitely there's so much talent in Baltimore and so much talent in these kids if we just nurture it. And just giving back to the whole mentorship program, the sisterhood that I'm trying to build within the studio, as well as I would say like a sorority type feel for them to make sure that they have a home. Because I don't want any of them to end up anywhere but where they need to be. I want them to know that it's okay to be the social worker, to be the lawyer, to be the doctor. They don't all have to be moms. They don't have to be, nurses. They have ample opportunities to do everything. And I don't know who's going to be the studio owner after me, but I definitely open that door as well.
You so Baltimore. It would be too easy to mention the paradox, which is where I met you. Too easy, way too easy. I started to ask you about who's your favorite DJ, but I don't want to start that type of drama.
Don't
That's
do
drama.
that. That's too much drama.
But so since you close to me in age, and since you so Baltimore, better club, Tunnel or Hammerjacks?
Ew.
Now watch before you make your answer. Better dance club, Tunnel or Baltimore or Hammerjacks? Think. I ain't say how it look or the location.
All right, you just say on the dance tip.
Better dance club, Hammerjacks or the Tunnel?
Oh, I can't get a third option.
No.
All right.
She's stalling y'all. She's stalling y'all.
Okay,
the people
wait,
need
hold
the
on.
answer.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a 50-50 here, and I'm gonna tell you why.
No, 50-50. You gotta answer one or the other.
All right, I'm gonna say, because I have to, I'm gonna say the Tunnel.
Nah! And I know she didn't want to say it because she said ill. She said ill.
Because I really didn't go to the Jacks like that. So that's why I said, why can't I get another option?
No. Because it would have been too easy. Everybody would have picked the Paradox. Shout out to the Paradox.
Well, I would have picked the Paradox.
Now, I will say this. The Hammerjacks was legendary.
It was, but I didn't really go there like that.
But I will agree with you on record. Outside of the Paradox, nothing like the Tunnel.
Nothing like the Tunnel.
The Tunnel reminded me of a basement feel, speakers, no TVs, no basketball courts.
Just sweating walls.
You on the strip. You might come out, feel like you will get robbed. Who knows?
Yes.
But when you was in there, it was Buckshot standing on the speakers, hosting, killing it.
L spinning.
Yep. Oh, that's the Mighty Mickeys, the Horsemen.
Tiny Tim, the Horsemen.
Decoy Boys, 611. Okay.
Listen, the list goes on.
We Baltimore. The youth is definitely our future, and you deal with youth on a regular basis. Shout out to you, because ever since my kids been homeschool learning, right, I've had a dose of what it feels like to be around kids all day, all right? We'll just say that a nice way. But no, you're dealing with these kids that come from all different nationalities, all different creeds, sizes, shapes. Maybe some have special needs, some not. But you inspire them. You know, all the things you've done, you know, it inspires them. But what would you say to kids that don't get a chance to come here and experience the joys of what your kids do? What do you say to them, to a kid right now having a hard time?
To a kid having a hard time, they just need to find a way to express themselves. I think that that's part of the problem with our youth here in Baltimore. They don't have an outlet. So there's not as many boys and girls clubs or rec centers or wherever, like that, where they can get the same type of training or some type of outlet, where they can, I guess, just let out that energy. I don't think our kids are really bad. I just think that they are confused in how to let out this energy that they don't know how to control. So some of them might be visual artists. Some of them might be singers. Some of them are dancers. Some of them might be mechanics. We don't know. We have to really hone in and kind of teach them and show them how to find their path. But the girls that I am dealing with, and I do have some boys, so I don't want to shut the door, that I work with want to be here. And if I could go out and do a youth program, which is something that I'll be working on very soon, our youth and outreach program that will be free to the community, it would definitely, I'll definitely be able to help and hone those skills. So then that way that would help these kids inner city and, for lack of a better term, underprivileged. So maybe that could help them get the scholarships to still be able to go to college, to still be able to get into better high schools, to still be able to have something in their back pocket. Again, we are full of talent. It's a matter of if the parents are actually paying attention, as well as if the kids are willing to actually, not be ashamed of what is not, not the in thing to do. Ballet might not be the in thing to do for that little boy, but he may be good at it. And we need to stop, I guess, demasculizing the whole term on that. Like, if he wants to dance, I don't care if he wants to be a tap dancer or if he wants to be a ballet dancer. You don't know. He might be the next person in the Usher video, saving his own family. We don't know. But if we could just get that out of people's head, that there's nothing wrong with dance. I've helped boxers. I've helped football players. I've helped baseball players. Like, I think that we just need to go ahead and let the boys know that it's okay. There's a lot of football players that take ballet. So
with that being said, man, that you've serviced, or been of service, I should say, to so many different, like I said, a wide scope of people, from kids to adults. Where do you see Baltimore going in the next 5 years? In the next 5 years, I do see us on the rise. I feel like we are the next melting pot, like they're calling, Houston or Atlanta. It's a matter of they only see us as The Wire, or they only see us for the bad things that come out. They don't really, show the good that comes out of here. So I thank you again, for even doing this whole platform, because you're definitely showing the good that is in this. But I think that we will have better jobs, and hopefully better school systems will be built. So that way we're putting more into our children to make them better and to make them more comfortable in whatever it is that they're doing. So with that being said, will you still be here in 5 years? In 5 years, I do plan on being here, because my daughter will still be here. She will not be at college yet, so I can't go nowhere yet. But because my studio is based here, I'm not going anywhere. The plan in 5 years is for us to have a second location. So we'd have one west, one east. Mm-hmm. So then that way I am able to actually touch those kids on the other side. Expansion. But it's definitely going to take some time. I don't ever want to create the next one until I have a well-oiled machine on one side. So unfortunately, east, y'all going to have to come west so we can get it together in order to build the east location. And where exactly are we? Can you tell them the address? Oh, sure. We're at 3681 Alford Road. We're in Randallstown, Maryland. We're right next to Collins Seafood, because that's like the big staple right here. So you guys come and see us. We would love to have your little boys or girls come and do ballet, modern tap, jazz, hip hop. We tumble. We just have a good time. We do birthday parties. Do you have social media? We have social media. Okay. So what's your social media? Instagram and Instagram and Facebook is Velocity Center for Dance, spelled completely out. So that's that. That's that. Call us. Anybody you want to shout out that contributed to where you are right now? Okay. The first person that I have to shout out. First person is my daughter. Kobe.
Kobe Nicole, because I do everything for her. And I also have to give her the biggest shout out because it has not been the easiest time for her because she has to share me with every child that comes in here. There's never a time that I'm off. I'm always running for the studio, and I'm always dragging her with me. So for that, she gets the most generous award. She gets the best daughter award. She gets the best award for everything because that has to be a hard place to be. And I don't think she really likes me being her coach and her mom. That's probably a hard place to be too. And then after that, of course, by default, my mom and my dad for just paying for ballet lessons and tap shoes and tights and everything because I wouldn't be here if that was the case. And then my staff, I love them all. They help my vision, come to fruition. They listen to me. They tell me when I'm wrong. They tell me when it's not right. They give me the feedback I need. And then lastly would be all my friends and even you, Eric, for just keeping me on the up and up and just calling me just randomly. I saw you. You did this right. Or, hey, sis, I see you. Like, just sometimes I don't think that people know, like, that really means a lot more to just get recognized for doing nothing sometimes because they don't see the work. They see the reward. And then a lot of people want to do it. And it's not that easy. It's not that easy.
Definitely not that easy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, I'm humbled by all those. Not only your accolades, but all the gratitude, you're showing to me. I'm just a vessel, out here doing God's work, changing the scope. Like you said, you can't really change people's picture, but you can adjust the scope.
Absolutely.
And that leads us to story time. But the only way you can see story time, if you click that subscription button down below. Don't think you was getting away with it. You watch this whole interview all up in Tiffany's face. Let's just keep it 100. And you ain't even subscribed to the channel. How, Sway? All right. I had to channel my inner yay real quick. But no, story time. This is a whole new segment. Like I said, story time. We're 3 weeks in. Since we talking about dance, let's be clear. I was definitely one of the best dancers in the city at one point. I mean, your perspective on where I'm at on the chart is up to you, but definitely she said something at the beginning of the interview that kind of hit home me, walking somewhere where you don't even got to announce who you are. And if you were at the Paradox or the Tunnel or Hammerjacks or Choices or wherever you was, Club One, PME parties, wherever you were, if it came to club dancing and you say you ain't know me, let's just say this clip, you tripping. Unless we wasn't in the same generation. But if you was in the clubs from like the early 2000s to probably like around the time I had Courtney, like 08, kind of faded off, I had my first child, 09, then yeah, you're capping. You're capping. Yeah, I'm sorry. Shout out to K Swift, legendary. People don't know, and I'll share this story and then I'll say my story and be out. But K Swift did my first ever club song. No, she played my first ever club song, Be Easy, which is made by a group that's now a set of platinum producers, including Jay Oliver and all them. So shout out to them. They doing big things in the world for Baltimore. We'll see if we can get Jay on the channel. And the point is, she spun the music on there. I always loved club music. When K Swift passed, it literally destroyed me because I felt like she was the hope for club music. And nothing was more dope than going out on a Friday night. Shout out to the Paradox, Wayne Davies, the owner, Tank, that whole security crew, everybody down there, and Bunky and everybody. I could just go on and on. But it was a place to dance your pain away.
Literally.
But to bring it all home outside of dancing, because I used to dance my tail off down there, that's where I first started to be easy. I would walk into the club, my 151 boys, shout out to all the original 151 members. We just were talking about them earlier. I don't feel like naming them because if I miss somebody, it's going to be drama. But they would go in there. We would meet up at Friday nights, most of the time at one of our cribs, either my crib, shout out my god brother Cheese for helping me start the business, or Romy at his mom's house back over west. And we would link up about a couple cars deep. We had just finished high school, was in high school, and we would put all the gear on. They would spend their check money with me, and they would put it on, and we would go into the club like 12, 13 deep and be easy every Friday. Every Friday for like 7 months straight. And people would be like, what y'all got on? Y'all always got that on. Like, why y'all always in the club with that? And Wayne used to let me bring my clothes and put them over my shoulder. So I could sell them in the club and never wanted no profit from me. When I did my first DVD, he's put it on the TVs and played it for free. So this journey through dance and all this stuff is correlated into everything being now because Baltimore is beautiful. So even though Kip isn't here, rest in peace to Kip, one of the fallen members of the group, even though a lot of people have matured and grew past being and Be Easy, the actual Block Star, All-Stars, and the Warriors, that was the teams and the models and the street team and all that stuff. I'm so blessed to have been able to dance my pain away, to be a part of so many legendary people, so many legendary clubs and venues. And now I'm just want to form my own legacy, and I want the whole world to be more like us.